Hello, and welcome to People Talk, the show that puts your questions to the stars. Coming up tonight, writer and stand-up comedian Mr. Phil Kay. There isn't an award Phil hasn't won, and he's been acclaimed both by critics and the public alike for his unique blend of surrealism, wordplay, stream of consciousness and improvisation. So without further ado, let's go meet the man. Hello Phil. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Welcome.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thank you. Never better. That's what I'm saying at the moment. That's my, never better, and I mean it. Having a great time. Apart from deadly ill, as you can probably hear, I've got a slight blockage. I don't always sound like this. I'd never get a job as the new menthol airwaves, menthol monkey in the voiceover world. This is that. That's authentic, 100% phlegm. But then, of course, phlegm in itself isn't the problem. As I say to children, phlegm is the body doing what it needs to do at that point. Phlegm's not the problem, right?
Let's start with the first question. This comes from Stuart in Crow Park, who asks, are you always crazy and mad like you are on stage?
Well, I'm hoping that, in response to Stuart's, I hope this covers it. Now, these are new. I made these from the spoons in the area, so I don't think I'm mad, because I'm just creative, and sometimes it hurts the eye. But that's good news for my cold. That really helps the cold. The menthol hot spoon.
You're feeling better? You
can make money. There's people making money with hot stone therapy. Have you heard of this?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, you lie down, you get hot stones. Well, for the man on the move, a hot spoon.
Ashley from Chingford would like to know, do you think being funny is a good way to deal with bullies? And if so, how do you learn?
It's obviously a good way to deal with bullies. I suppose so, because you've got to find a way to not be hurt, I think, is what is the ultimate thing. And certainly not being hurt by things is useful. And being funny, it depends what kind of bully it is. If it's a category A, then humour is very useful that you've got that. Yeah, that's a good question. But it's not the only escape for bullying. But certainly not being affected by things is worth trying.
Next question. Keely in Dartmouth asks, do you live in a really big mansion?
Yes, we've got our own Victorian, sewage system, pumping house cottage at the end of our garden. We've got a stunning Victorian spare hall for ping pong. We call it the ping pong hall. So we've got all the benefits of the mansion in a slightly more compact vein.
Okay, next question. Rory from Thamesmead asks, what's it like being famous?
Well, Rory, I'm not really up in that level, so I'm not getting bothered by anyone ever. But I shared a thing. Maybe there's something in today's book. Well, I got some weed off my ex-wife's boyfriend. It's quite handy. Maybe that's because I'm famous.
Did he recognise you?
Yeah, he knows me really well. I borrowed a house to squat in for New Year, maybe because I was famous because my friend arranged it. She might have said, in Scotland I am 26% famous. A lot of people go, but in England I'm, synonymally.
Right, your next question, Phil. Lisa in Milton Keynes, who asks, were you always funny, even at school and things?
I've always been funny, because for me funny is just creative interaction. It's just creative interaction. You can get laughs from telling people something that you've done that's just a simple fact, but it's silly that you're doing it there and then on a well-lit stage. I mean, imagine how interesting it is to go on stage tonight in front of 200 people and tell them these silly things that have just happened today, and they laugh, and then they get to laugh at the fact they're laughing at these non-jokes that are just lovely, nutritious moments of nonsense.
Debbie from Chester wants to know, what do you think about mostly when you're thinking about things?
And I'm very much in the moment, and very much in this thing. So when I'm thinking about things, I'm thinking about the situation I'm in. I'm a bit like Sherlock Holmes in those films where he's analysing the situation, but it's generally at a manageable, fun level. So I'm thinking about all the details I possibly can look for. So that every now and then I'll pass a lorry, and then later on someone will say, oh, we'd love to get my mum's old Alsatian stuffed, and I'll just happen to have written down the number for a good taxidermist. So what I think about mostly is details. Observance. How can I use that? What's that? What? A glass of sugar? What's happening there?
And the final question comes from a lady called Pauline from Barnsbury, and she asks, if you could take me on a date anywhere in the world and money wasn't an issue, where would you take me and why? And she's enclosed a photograph for you as well of her.
Hold that so it's the same size as me, if you know what I mean. Is that working? Is that right? Well, we'd go back to her native Canadian outback pioneering. I definitely, if there's money was no object, what I've always wanted to do is nip across Canada with one of those boat planes. You know, the ones that kind of, you can land on a lake and then they sort of, and then they sort of cruise up to the side. And she and I would just take a picnic, but there'd be things arranged. I mean, the only thing that'd be different for me is that I'd have bicycles in every city in the world if I was rich. That's the only thing that would change. Or no, hang on, perhaps I'd take her to the evil circus. And the evil clown, have you seen that? His shoes are too small. But we go to Alaska, we fly around Canada.
How does that sound, Pauline? I hope that sounds nice. Well, Phil, it was absolutely lovely talking to you. Thank you for coming on the show. Where can we see you if we wanted to come and see you sometime?
I'm doing a fantastic little gig. I'm doing some brilliant work in London, regular work at the Servants' Jazz Quarters, a little bohemian wonder. It's in Dalston. It's called the Goodfather. It's a new act night. I recruited someone today from the... Sorry. I recruited an act today, a double act of women who are coming along. So come along if you've got an act. We love the absurd, the bizarre, the wondrous, and funny is a natural ingredient in it, I'm sure. You can find news about the Servants' Jazz Quarters and the Goodfather Comedy Cabaret Night on Twitter and Facebook.
So that was Mr. Phil Kay. What a nice man. Thanks for sending in all your questions. This week's winner is Pauline from Barnsbury, who's won a £15 gift voucher to spend at BHS. Well done, my darling. Come back next week for more People Talk. I've been Tom Turner. Good night.